Well, with me in the studio is Deven Ghelani from Policy in Practice, which helps people navigate the benefit system. First, Deven, Priscilla got an extra £50 a week, £2,500 a year, as well as that winter fuel payment, as did many of those in the DWP experiment. Why is it so hard to get pensioners to claim those transforming amounts of money?
Yeah, I mean, it's an essential element of support because it helps pensioners like Priscilla to eat healthier, heat their home, to take a more active role in society. I think it's really important to encourage people to claim. I think the fact that it's quite complicated, I think there are three main issues. People don't know about pension credit, or if they do know about it, they immediately assume they won't be entitled. So I'd encourage people to check, firstly. The second big challenge is it can be complicated to apply. You might need to find information about any other income you've got or your savings, and people might need extra help if they don't speak English as a first language. And the third reason, and the biggest one that we see, is kind of shame and stigma. People don't feel like it's something that is for them. And I'd say one odd effect of the winter fuel payment cut is it's starting to reverse that, because we were getting winter fuel payment. Now you'll only get it, as we heard from Priscilla, if you get pension credit. And it's starting to change people's views on that.
Yes, and of course, they've paid tax all their lives, so they're as entitled to that as they are to the state pension, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Now, since the Chancellor made her announcement, the number applying, as I said, has more than doubled, in fact. And one listener told us he hadn't got his money even now, despite those 500 extra staff. Now, if there is a delay, will the money be backdated to the date when they claimed?
Yeah, so any claims that are started by December the 21st means your winter fuel payment will be backdated to that date. But it's still worth checking after that date as well, because pension credit can actually be worth quite a bit more than the winter fuel payment and entitles you to other support too, like the warm home discount and other support as well.
Yes, well, as we heard from Priscilla. Now, Emma explained this latest campaign, and when they did this trial, more than a quarter of those contacted twice made a successful claim. So could the full trial have a significant effect on take-up of this benefit?
Yeah, so through housing benefit, we think you can identify around 1 in 6 of those who should be claiming pension credit but aren't. That's a substantial number, about 140,000 or so. So if you think about a third of those going on to claim, that's another 50,000 pensioners getting the support that they need. That's on top of new figures released this week that showed, compared to the year before the winter fuel payment announcement, there's been an increase in uptake of around 110,000 more people claiming pension credit, and that's before the winter fuel payment changes.
Yes,
so that's really good news.
And the Treasury built in a rise, hadn't it? It had built that into the savings figures. But of course, if more people claim, could it ever be enough to dent the savings that the Chancellor wants to make, this £1.5 billion?
So we think so, but again, we think that's a good thing because it means pensioners getting the support that they're eligible for. So our best estimates are by Christmas, we think there'll be around 120,000 more successful claims for pension credit, and I think the Treasury had built in around 100,000. So that's 20,000 additional claims by Christmas, according to our estimates. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what transpires, but you can still continue to claim pension credit afterwards. And what I'd say is, I really hope this isn't just a one-off campaign in response to the winter fuel payment cut. I'd like to see DWP run these campaigns every year. I'd like to see them expand them like some of the best local authorities run take-up campaigns on attendance allowance, on free school meals, on healthy start support for families and children. So helping people access the support they're eligible for is a really positive thing to do.
Yes, and just very briefly, Linda has emailed this morning saying that there are the sort of two groups of pensioners. Old pensioners can actually get pension credit on a higher income than new pensioners, can't they? And she thinks that we don't mention that enough.
Yeah, it's really important to check. So it isn't just the thresholds of if your income's below £220 a week or £330 a week if you're a couple, because there's other criteria that may mean you've got exemptions, or if you've got savings, you might be eligible on slightly higher incomes. So it's definitely worth going to one of the benefit calculators on gov.uk to check, seeing if you're eligible, not just for yourself, but for others too.
Deven Ghelani of Policy and Practice, thanks. Well, if you're over 66 and you feel hard up, as Priscilla did, do what she did. Try again. You can claim online, gov.uk, search pension credit claim, or by calling 0800 99 1234 in office hours.